I am as well.
Okay, right. Thank you, everybody, for agreeing to join in. This is a demonstration of the Online Quiz League USA. We've been running in the UK now for 6 months. Currently have 54 teams, over 300 active players, and we think that this format would work fantastically in America, so we'd like to demonstrate exactly how it works. So Steve has organised some crack teams for us to demonstrate. I'm just going to run quickly through the rules. We've got 8 rounds of questions. In each round, each player is going to get a question asked to them directly for 2 points. If they get it right, great, 2 points. If they don't know, they can pass it to a teammate who can answer for 1 point. But if the player goes for his own question and gets it wrong, it's going straight over to the other team, and one of them can steal it for a point. So you have to know when to go for it or when to trust the teammates. At the end of the 8 rounds, the team who have the most points is the winner. And Steve is going to give a bit of information as we go along. So thank you. Over to Steve. You, Steve.
Just a little. Can everybody just go ahead and introduce yourself real quick, just for just for everyone's benefit? We'll start with Team A, which is Pam.
Hi, I'm Pam Mueller.
And we have A2.
I'm Mark Dawson in Atlanta, Georgia.
A3.
I'm McKinnie Sizemore in Newport Richey, Florida.
And A4.
Hi, I'm Amy Wilkinson in South Deerfield, Massachusetts.
All right. All right. And the other team is captained by B1.
All right. Colby Burnett, Chicago, Illinois.
B2.
Megan Barnes, Columbia, Maryland.
Cliff. Sorry, B3. Dang it.
Cliff Galiher, Los Angeles, California.
And B4.
Alan Lynn, Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, if you may know these people from some other appearances on other media, some of them very many appearances on other media, perhaps. We begin, and this always goes in order, so we will start with seat A1. Question is for Pam. The May 1969 Vietnam War battle at Ap Bia Mountain, part of Operation Apache Snow, was known by what name, which alluded to the way American soldiers were chewed up fighting there?
Hamburger Hill.
Correct, for 2 points. Colby. Brian Porter is the current CEO of which Canadian banking and financial services company? The company gives their name to the home of the NHL team, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Scotiabank.
Scotiabank is correct for 2. The next question for the other team, for Mark. Brazilians Italo Ferreira, Silvana Lima, and Gabriel Medina are among those favored to take home medals in what sport set to make its debut at the Tokyo Olympics?
Doing sport. McKinnie, can you give it a try?
Maybe surfing?
Maybe surfing is correct for 1 point. That's a good pass. McKinnie made a little hand signal. He had 3 fingers, which is 3 fingers worth of confidence. A fist means typically that people definitely think they know it. B2 is Megan. Which Austrian physicist gives his name to the apparent change of frequency in a sound wave perceived by an observer as the source of the sound passes?
Talked about this in the Big Bang Theory. I'm not sure, though. So, Alan, you want to take it?
Doppler.
Doppler. That is the Doppler effect for 1 point. McKinney. Which TV series starring Evan Rachel Wood and Tandy Newton is a spin-off of a 1973 film of the same name that was written and directed by Michael Crichton?
Westworld.
Correct for 2. Cliff. Joseph Smith and Brigham Young are famous names in the history of the Latter-day Saint movement. By what name is this religious group better known?
Mormons.
Mormons is correct for 2. There are easy and hard questions, and they're sprinkled throughout. So, no offense, Cliff, just,
I thought it was a good answer.
Well done. His next question's probably going to be, way harder than that. So, yeah, just...
Hopefully it's not easier.
It is not. Anyway, A4, Amy. Topping the Billboard Hot 100 in August 2020, the controversial song WAP is a collaboration between Cardi B and which rapper?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion is correct for 2. Alan, which U.S. state capital, the largest city in its state, is the seat of Maricopa County?
Phoenix.
Phoenix is correct for 2. So at the end of round one, we have
At the end of round one, the scores are Mark's team 7, Colby's team 7.
7-7. Away we go. All right, Pam, first question in round two. The best international feature film winner at the 74th Academy Awards was the 2001 film No Man's Land. It is set during which conflict?
Bosnia?
Yes, the Bosnian War is correct for 2.
Yugoslav War.
Yeah, Bosnian War, Yugoslav War, it's correct.
But, what name do you want here?
All right, very nice. Colby, which Chekhov play opens with the return of Madame Ravenskaya to her country estate?
Chekhov. You know what? The Cherry Orchard.
2, correct.
Good
Mark, the 1946 composition Ornithology is among the best-known work of which jazz saxophonist?
Ornithology. McKinney, you're sure on this. Good for it.
Parker.
Charlie Bird Parker is correct for 1.
Coltrane and wasn't sure enough.
Megan, the large stratovolcano Tajumulco, the highest mountain in Central America, is at 4,202 meters. Which country's highest point?
Anyone? All right. Is it Guatemala?
2 points. Real nice.
Yeah, great poll.
A good, yeah. If people had put their hands up, you probably wouldn't have had it. So
Nope.
that's awesome. That's 2 points the hard way. McKinney, serving under James Buchanan from 1857 to 1861. Which U.S. lawyer and politician was the youngest ever vice president of the United States, beginning his spell in office at age 36?
I'm going to defer to Pam.
Breckinridge.
John C. Breckinridge is correct. He ran for president, too. 1 point. 3B is for Cliff. Which long, thin, superficial muscle that runs down the length of the thigh is the longest muscle in the human body?
Come on, don't make me pull a Megan here. Well, it'll buy us more time if I designate Colby.
Colby?
Great. You know, Ludius Maximus.
It is not. Goes over to Tine.
And I'll guess the Sartorius.
The Sartorius is correct for 1.
That's real.
So that's not the first turnover of the game. I think it is actually. Well, I don't know if we call those turnovers or not. That's sensible term.
Yeah.
Steal. Yep. Amy. Mike Krzyzewski has won 5 college basketball titles since 1990 as the head coach of which university?
McKinney, why don't you give us this one?
That's Duke.
It is Duke for 1. And Alan, which type of electromagnetic radiation, commonly used in hospitals, has a wavelength between that of gamma rays and ultraviolet?
X-rays.
X-rays is correct for 2. So.
Okay, in that round, Mark's team scored 6, making 13. Colby's team also scored 6, making 13. 13 all in round 2.
All right. I guess we're showing off the format pretty well. It's close. All right, Pam. Which quarterback out of Washington State was taken 2nd overall by the San Diego Chargers in the 1998 NFL Draft behind Peyton Manning? He is widely regarded as one of the biggest busts in NFL history, in part due to drug addiction and attitude problems.
Ryan Leaf.
Correct for 2.
Like the one football thing I know.
Ryan Leaf is the one football thing you know. It's a good one to pick, I suppose.
I believe he's done time.
He has.
Yeah, he's done time.
I included a picture of him in his jail uniform in one of the quizzes one time. Colby, which Caribbean? Oh, it was the Colossal Failures one day. That's what it was. Colby, which Caribbean country with a population of around 400,000 and its capital at Nassau has a name from the Spanish for shallow seas?
The Bahamas.
The Bahamas is correct for 2. Mark, Tenochtitlan served as capital of which Mesoamerican empire until its 1521 overthrow by Spanish conquistadors?
The Aztecs.
Correct. Megan, prior to his death in a car crash in 1956, which influential American abstract expressionist painter was married to fellow artist Lee Krasner?
Jackson Pollock.
Jackson Pollock is correct for 2. McKinney, Jennifer Warren's 1986 album Famous Blue Raincoat consists of covers of songs made famous by which male singer-songwriter?
My favorite of all time, Leonard Cohen.
Okay, there you go. 2 points. Cliff, which American university gave its name to the famous 1970s experiment that randomly divided test subjects into guards and prisoners in order to study the behavior of those placed in a position of power?
Stanford.
Stanford is correct. Amy, ranked number 51 on the list of AFI's 100 Years, 100 Movie Quotes, from what film does the following quote appear, or in what film does the following quote appear? You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Hey. What I'm not sure is which one in the series is this. Dirty Harry.
Yes. The other quote is not about the other movie in the series, so I will tell you that "Go Ahead, Make My Day" is the one that is from Sudden Impact. Yes, which is a much more obscure. So yeah, 2 points.
That's how people screw that up.
Yep. Sudden Impact's like not a movie people talk about. So it's,
I would have said 44 Magnum.
Which one is likely to be on that list? So.
Good job. Alan, which actress is married to the American actor Peter Sarsgaard? In 2001, she rose to fame appearing with her brother in the cult film Donnie Darko.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie Gyllenhaal is correct for 2. And?
Well, both teams got all their questions right for 2 points in that round for full houses. So 8 points each, making it now Mark's team 21, Colby's team 21.
All right. Just do that the whole rest of the time.
Awesome. Yeah.
Don't stay like this all the way.
I need the other team to do that, just not as much.
Pam, considered one of his signature songs, "On the Road Again," was a #1 hit on the Billboard country charts in 1980 for which singer?
I'm going to just defer to McKinney.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson, for 1, is correct. Colby, Corvus corax is the scientific name for which bird that takes the role of trickster god in many of the myths of the indigenous peoples of North America?
Okay. Corvus. You know what? I can't do it. Cliff.
Raven.
Raven is correct. Yes, for 1. I understand the fear. The fear is part of this game for sure, but in a good way. Mark, initially beginning his career as an ordained Methodist minister, actor Hugh Beaumont is best known for playing the father on which TV show of the late 50s and early 60s?
Father Knows Best.
Incorrect.
Oh, crap.
Team B, anybody?
Cliff.
I'm going to say Leave It to Beaver.
That is Ward Cleaver, correct for 1 point. Good pickup. Megan, which American fashion designer was the founder of the DKNY clothing label?
That would be Donna Karan.
Donna Karan, that's what the DK stands for 2 points. McKinney, which of the 4 major U.S. sports leagues does not have a team from Tampa Bay currently competing in it?
Let's see. We've got a hockey team. We don't have an NBA team.
Oh, yeah, you're from there, aren't you?
Yeah. Like 45 minutes out.
That's pretty fantastic. Yeah, the WNBA is in Bradenton right now, right? Yeah. Yes, good for 10 points, for 2 points. Sorry. Cliff, 10 points is that other format we won't talk about. Cliff, in glaciation, what term from the French for edge is given to a narrow knife-edge ridge that separates 2 adjacent glacial valleys?
Moraine?
No. Team A.
McKinney?
Is that an esker?
It is not. It is an arete or an aret, A-R-E-T-E, not the Greek
I
thing.
underestimated the difficulty of that one.
All right, it's all good.
Amy. Ivan IV the Terrible was the first Tsar of Russia and a member of which ruling dynasty?
Romanov?
Incorrect. Team B. Colby's captain, so he can...
Yeah. Go ahead, Colby.
He's Rurikid.
He is a Rurikid for 1 point. That's correct.
Good guess.
And Alan, which 20th century composer was also a fungus expert who co-founded the New York Mycological Society?
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Let's say 20th century composer. Who's weird enough to do that? Say John Cage.
Cage is correct for 2 points. Yeah! Very nicely done.
Oh!
John Cage enjoyed mushrooms and probably also did them. Anyway, halftime scores.
Right, well, we've got a bit of a change now. That was 3 points to Mark's team, making 24, but 7 to Colby's team, 28. So halftime, Colby's team 28, Mark's team 24.
Yep, can change on a dime. My team came back from 4 down at halftime recently in the British version of this league. Don't be afraid. Okay, we switch order for round 2. So Colby's team will receive questions first, but they are in the same order generally. Colby, the 1965 composition A Love Supreme is among the best-known work of which jazz saxophonist?
Oh, that's Coltrane.
That's Coltrane, correct. Pam, which 20th century novelist was also a lepidopterist responsible for organizing the butterfly collection at Harvard's Museum of Comparative Zoology?
Nabokov.
Nabokov is correct for 2.
Nice.
That's a fun pair, I think, with the cage fungus. Anyway, Megan, Nick Saban has won 5 college football national titles since 2009 as the head coach of which university?
Colby.
Alabama.
Alabama is correct for 1. Mark, which artery that carries blood away from your heart to the rest of your body is the largest artery?
The aorta.
The aorta is correct for 2. Cliff, serving under Harry S. Truman from 1949 to 1953. Which U.S. lawyer and politician was the oldest ever vice president, beginning his spell in office aged 71?
I think I know this. Well, let's protect the lead. I'll go to Colby.
Barkley.
Alban Barkley is correct for 1. The namesake of the debate team at my college. Anyway, McKinnie. In glaciation, what term from the French for tower of ice is given to a block of glacial ice dangerous to mountaineers, often formed by intersecting crevasses on a glacier?
Tower of ice. I'm going to defer to Pam.
Now's the time for Sirac.
Now is the time for Serac. Very nice. 1 point. That's a toughie.
Nice.
To pick up Pam.
And
I was
Alan.
hoping you were just going to go with Sirac again.
I said Esker the first time.
He said Esker the first time.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of like
That's
Serac
like Sirac, but rearranged.
Alan, the best international feature film winner at the 66th Academy Awards was the 1993 film Belle Epoque. It is set in the days before which conflict?
World War I.
Incorrect. Team A. Anybody?
It's the Spanish Civil War.
It's the Spanish Civil War for 1 point. Good job.
Good job, Mark.
I think we might have had a little catch up that round.
I saw your cat.
Still one more question.
Oh, we do still have 1 question. Amy, which type of electromagnetic radiation commonly used in the kitchen has a wavelength between that of radio waves and infrared?
Microwaves.
Yeah, 2 points.
Nice.
Right. So in that round, Colby's team scored 4, making 32. Mark's team scored 8, making 32. We're back level again in round 5.
Very nice. Colby, Chichen Itza was a major city in which Mesoamerican civilization, whose other major cities included Tikal?
Yeah.
Maya is correct for 2. Pam, which U.S. state capital, the largest city in its state, is the seat of Marion County?
McKinney?
I was going to say one, but then I realized Mark didn't have his hand up, but he probably would have. I don't know. Atlanta?
Incorrect. Team B.
That's Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is correct for one.
Oh, who got the point there? Sorry. Was that Colby?
Colby got the point there, yeah.
I mean, the whole county is the city of
Is
Indianapolis.
the city of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, Atlanta has three.
Like three counties.
Fulton, DeKalb, and Gwinnett.
Oh.
So, yeah. Anyway, Megan. Ranked number 19 on the list of AFI's 100 Years, 100 Movie Quotes. From what film does the following quote come? I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
That would be Network.
Network for 2, correct. All right, Mark. Which Yale psychologist gave his name to a famous 1960s experiment that saw people in a position of power give what they thought to be painful electric shocks to subordinates?
Yikes. It's not my area. I got to guess, but Pam, what do you got?
Milgram.
Milgram, yeah. Pam is Pam ought to know that, probably.
I'm better. They will revoke my degree.
PhD in that, yeah. Cliff. Scarlett Johansson's 2008 album Anywhere I Lay My Head consists largely of covers of songs made famous by which male singer-songwriter?
I don't recognize this.
I'll
give this to Colby.
All right, is this Bob Dylan?
It is not Bob Dylan. Team A?
All right.
McKinney?
She does a lot of cover of Tom Waits, so I'm going to guess Tom Waits.
Tom Waits is correct.
That makes
yeah.
sense.
I've never...
I mean, their voices are just alike, so it makes sense.
I've never had a quiz where I've gotten my number 1 and number 2 favorite songwriters of all time, so this is great.
That's awesome.
Well, we didn't know you when we wrote the question. So
Nope, I didn't have any clue. That just happened. McKinnie now is right. Yep. George Fox and William Penn are famous names in the history of the Religious Society of Friends. By what name is this religious group better known?
Quakers, the Shakers, Quakers.
Yes, Quakers is correct. Alan, which quarterback out of LSU was taken first overall by the Oakland Raiders in the 2007 NFL Draft? He is widely regarded as one of the biggest busts in NFL history, in part due to drug addiction and attitude problems.
Colby.
Russell.
Jamarcus Russell is correct. And finally, Amy. In 2008, Australian-American businesswoman Portia de Rossi married which American talk show host?
Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres is correct, yes.
Right,
And 2.
End of round 6, Colby's team scored 6, making 38, and it'll be no surprise that Mark's team scored 6, also making 38. Round 6, 38 all.
It's coming.
What happens in the event of a tie?
We do we do spares. I don't know exactly what happens,
In
but
the league, it would be you would get points for the draw. We cause that's what we have in the UK. In cup games, we have spare rounds inserted to play.
Right.
I don't know. Have we got them from the first quiz that we
I've got they're around. Yeah, I might have to skip some British
we have
content, but that'll be easy enough to
We'll
make
work
happen
something
if
out.
we need to.
Okay.
This is amazing, y'all. Thank you. It's going as well as I could have hoped, I think. Colby, later a member of the rock group David and the Giants, Richard Keith first found fame as a child actor appearing on which TV show in the 1950s?
Okay. All right, we got. All right, Cliff.
I'm going to guess the Addams Family.
Incorrect. Team A?
Joke. All right, it's all good.
I'll guess Dennis the Menace.
No, incorrect. It's that was Little Ricky on I Love Lucy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I had it in my head that it was actually played by Desi Arnaz Jr., but
It wasn't. Yeah. That's true. All right, Pam. A polo horse is the logo of the fashion house of which American fashion designer?
Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren is correct for 2. Megan.
Hello, Ralph Lauren.
Megan, what 3-word name is given to the succession crisis in Russia, which arose following the death of Ivan IV's son Fyodor I in 1598, which was not resolved until the accession of the first Romanov Tsar Michael I in 1613?
Alan, you got your fist up.
Time of Troubles.
Time of Troubles is correct for 1. Mark, which Ibsen play opens with the return of the eponymous heroine to Christiania following her honeymoon?
Hedda Gabler.
Hedda Gabler is correct for 2. Very nice. Cliff, which of the 4 major U.S. sports leagues does not have a team from Houston currently competing in it?
Let's see. Hockey, NHL.
Yeah, the NHL is correct. They're the Houston Aeros used to be there in the
WHA.
old days, but they're not around now. McKinney, Canis latrans is the scientific name for which mammal that takes the role of a trickster god in many of the myths of the indigenous peoples of North America.
Coyote.
Yes, for 2. Allen considered one of his signature songs, Coward of the County, was a #1 hit on the Billboard country charts in 1980 for which singer?
Colby.
Rogers.
Kenny Rogers is correct for 1. And Amy, named after a ruler of the Samanid dynasty, Ismoil Somoni Peak, the highest mountain in Central Asia, is at 7,495 meters. Which country's highest point? That is Ismoil Somoni Peak.
Mark, is your hand up? All right, you take it.
Mongolia.
Incorrect. Anybody from Team B?
My guess too. So
Nobody's going. To hell with it. Uzbekistan.
It is Tajikistan. No points on that one.
I thought those mountains would be higher than that.
No stray Guatemalas this time. How are we doing after round 7?
Right, and that round, Colby's team scored 4, making 42. Mark's team scored 6, making 44. So again, if anybody would like a score update so you know whether or not to gamble, just let me know.
All right. And here we go. Colby. Americans Nija Houston, Lacey Baker, and Vanessa Torres are among those favored to take home medals in what sport set to make its debut at the Tokyo Olympics?
And hell with it. Karate.
Karate is incorrect. Team A.
Anyone? Pam.
Skateboarding?
Skateboarding is correct. Nigel Houston is a skateboarder. Very nice for 1 point. Pam, which Austrian physicist gives his name to the thought experiment, which presents a scenario in which a cat may be simultaneously both alive and dead?
Schrodinger.
It's Schrodinger, correct. Megan, which song, a collaboration between Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce, topped the Billboard Hot 100 chart in May 1920? May 19th. I'm doing well. I was doing so well up to this point. All right, let's start over. Which song, a collaboration between Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce, topped the Billboard Hot 100 in May 2020 after its accompanying video went viral on TikTok?
Alan, can you take this one?
Here, Savage.
Savage is correct for 1 point. And McKinney, not McKinney, Mark. See, it's all coming off. What's going on here? I'm excited by the drama. All right, Mark, which Caribbean country with a population of around 100,000 and its capital at St. John's has a name from the Spanish for ancient and bearded?
Antigua and Barbuda.
Correct. Cliff, the TV series Cobra Kai is a spin-off of what film franchise, which began in 1984 and starred Ralph Macchio as Daniel LaRusso?
The Karate Kid.
Correct. McKinney, named after its founder and original owner, which Canadian telecommunications company gives their name to the stadium in which the MLB team, the Toronto Blue Jays, play?
Rogers. Media.
Rogers Center is correct, yes. Alan, the Vietnam War Battle of Hamburger Hill had a name which alluded to which 1953 Korean War battle, although that battle had been so named because the terrain reminded soldiers of the titular culinary item.
Sorry, what's the score?
You are 6 behind. So
Yeah,
you
we
can't
may
catch
win
up.
this, so just yeah.
All right, go Colby.
Pork chop hill.
Pork Chop Hill is correct. And finally, Amy, famed for her paintings of flowers and skulls and considered the mother of American modernism, which American painter was married to the influential photographer Alfred Stieglitz?
Georgia O'Keeffe.
Georgia O'Keeffe is correct for 2, yeah.
Okay. So
All right.
quiz. In the final round, Colby's team scored 4, making 46, but Mark's team scored a fantastic 9 to take the quiz 53 to 46.
Very
Well done,
well
everybody.
Good game.
Well done, everybody.
All the way in the last couple of rounds there.
Yep.
So thank you
Really
everyone
nice
for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the format. There's going to be details below telling you how to register interest in joining the league, which is hopefully going to start later this month. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for this, John.
You guys.